Hi,
Bella.
Skylar. Pleasure to meet you.
And
also, I'm covering for my colleague who couldn't be here from Spain.
Oh, lovely.
All right.
Perfect. Love that.
Hey, you guys remember Brazilian music?
I've heard
I am
some.
obsessed with your fighters.
Oh, with the Gracies?
Yeah, the Gracies, Anderson Silva, and Vitor's fighting tonight. Sorry, this goes.
I don't know
right over
anything
head.
about
I'm the
ultimate
huge Brazilian
fighting. I
jiu-jitsu
really
fan,
don't.
but the Gracies, they're the
Yeah,
OGs.
they're very, very famous.
Paul,
Thank
just
you.
say your name and who you're covering for, too.
Sure, it's Skylar Astin covering Welcome to Telecine and Canal Plus Spain. So, here we go.
Hello.
All right, let's do it.
Two things. But I'm a big musical fan, so I want to get started with that. Difference between, when you do a movie and a movie like this where music is really, it's really not a musical. The music is kind of a backdrop because you guys sing differently. Talk a little bit about, how the music role is in this movie.
The music is performance based, so all of it is competition, and it's not like we're walking down the street singing just because we decide to, but it's because we're on stage competing. So
Yeah, we didn't even attempt to try to get away with that difficult transition.
Right.
I'm always really blown away. Well, I come from a musical theater background, and I never take for granted the transition between when you're just speaking and all of a sudden it breaks out into song. So I think that we never made that decision to go there with this one, and I think it's the movie's better for it. It just calls for it in a different way.
Because it's pretty different when you're actually doing a musical. Talk a little bit about the difference acting when that happens. You just started with that. If you can elaborate a little bit more.
Yeah, well, I think that what I always took from it was, it might sound corny, but when you're so emotional and you can't really articulate with words what it is you're feeling, like in a musical when someone has an "I want" song, like what they want so much, it normally happens in Act 1. It's like you don't have anything to do but sing it. It's just such an emotional moment, and when maybe when you can't sing it anymore, that's when you dance it, and I because people they think that they could just speak and then immediately start singing, and it's always a tough transition. It's a really high art form, I think, and people really take it for granted, I think, too often.
And well, you the tight.
yes, very uptight,
exactly.
very wound up, character.
And does that make a difference with the voice when you have to sing because you have to sing a specific way?
Yeah, I think that my voice, I don't think I thought about it so much when I was doing the songs, but I would always sing in character. So it perhaps might be a little brighter, a little more nasal, because that's what Aubrey, that's how she sings, because she's trying to control everything so much, and she lives in this strained place. Hopefully it's not awful to the ear to hear, but I think that if I was playing a different character who was much more relaxed and light on her feet or something, it would be a different voice.
You maybe be folkier or something like that.
I'd have a more relaxed quality to the voice.
Because
so.
she has a beautiful voice. I
But
mean,
I think-
and in the movie, and
But
also.
Aubrey's definitely got a little shrill thing going on. So.
But I would imagine it's even harder when you're doing a cappella because you have to think about the harmonics and follow everybody else. Let's talk a little bit about the training. Did you have to do any training? You had any of that background?
Yeah, we have 4 weeks of rehearsals, and I think that what's the best thing about this kind of singing is you're just one piece of the puzzle. Like, you're the guitar, you're the bass, you're the cello, and you all come together to make one voice happen. So you can't have an ego, you can't try to oversing, you really have to listen. And there's the fine line of learning it and trying to lock into your thing, but once you get that confidence and you can really be in the pocket of that sound, it doesn't sound like a million voices together, but it sounds like one unit.
Yeah. Is it like well, go ahead.
No, I totally
Wanna
agree.
elaborate
Just
on
with
that?
the listening, it's so much about listening and not I just totally agree with the not overpowering and really learning your note on your own, but then coming in being totally prepared and also just available to hear everyone else.
The scene on the pool, that must have been kind of interesting.
That was the riff off. Yeah.
We were shooting that during a night shoot. So for people that don't know what that is, that's when you shoot from all hours of the night.
Yeah,
so you
till
can shoot outside.
sunrise.
Yeah.
The sun was coming up. I know the shot that the sun was coming up on is after we ended and we lost.
They
The
did the
girls
crane.
lost. And there was that shot, but then when I'm telling them all that this all stank, and I
Can
remember
you ever
they
tell
were
when
go,
you watch
go,
the
go.
movie?
No, I can't tell,
Oh,
but
okay.
I knew that day that I had one take to get that.
Oh my
line
gosh,
in.
yeah, they call it chasing
Chasing
daylight.
daylight.
Yeah.
Yep, we were
It's
chasing
tough.
daylight.
Act quick, guys.
Yeah,
Literally,
go.
we're
Don't mess this up.
losing it.
I know, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, yeah.
Now I want to, to talk a little bit about your music again, because musical is a major art form, and it has been hit and miss in movies, but such success in television and Broadway. Why you guys think this movie is going to be different from the musicals that have been coming out in the movie?
I think that there are so many jokes, so many funny moments, so many things that you cannot forget when you walk away from this movie. And the performances are so good and so specific, and each character, I think someone, you can relate to all of them or one of them or fall in love with either all of them or one of them. And it's just, there's characters like you haven't seen before, and I think that is really refreshing and new and, exciting.
It's also very relevant, but then again, there's a feeling of nostalgia because there's some classic kind of music and all the comparisons to the Breakfast Club, I think, is going to draw to some people from that generation, and also bring a new generation and shed light on that. So I think that it's got comedy. It's a comedy amongst things. So if you're not into singing, there's going to be hilarious laugh out loud moments. If you're a little bit of a proclaimed dork like I am, like I'll admit, I'm a bit of a geek. Like there's some dorky humor that cracks me up more than anything.
Me too.
So I think it really is something for everyone, and I think it has the potential to be a big commercial hit.
I hope.
Great songs.
Yeah.
Great songs, and you want to
Thank
dance too,
Any favorite that you guys sang in the movie? You want to give us a little hint here?
Let me think.
A little
Yeah, the Bruno Mars, Just the Way You Are. I loved that song in the pool with all the girls. It was really pretty and fun to sing.
I like that too.
I'm not gonna get some singing, right?
Oh, maybe. No.
Her eyes, I could dance about them. I didn't sing it. They did. I wasn't there when they sang it. So now I will sing.
Okay.
See, music does bring happiness.
Yeah.
It does. If you can talk, you can sing. If you can walk, you can dance. Isn't that what they say?
Yeah, and I think it goes the other way too. If you could dance, you could walk, probably.
What?
Mind
My
blown.
boom explosion.
Yeah.
My colleague had a specific question because, since you guys are singing, he wants to know how important is the money you could be making when singing for a project? Is it important at all?
How important is the money that we will
you
be
could
making?
when you actually sing for a project?
Do you think there's a difference in the payment? I think
I
we
don't
were
know if
paid.
there's a difference in the payment if you're singing.
Important for you? Could you do it for free?
Oh, I understand what you're saying now.
Oh.
Well, I mean, there's something to be said about theater.
We just did it for free. We sang for you.
Yeah, we're not getting paid today. I'm losing
and
money.
you owe us $100.
My meter's up, man. I gotta go. Yeah.
That'll be 15 grand.
Yeah.
Where's the checkbook?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think it was worth that.
And just quickly, is there a message in the movie?
Yeah, the message is that you don't have to be a certain type or be, you can celebrate your differences, and come together and you can be successful and not have to be a certain way or be a certain type, I think, and be yourself.
Well put. I have nothing. I got nothing.
Be yourself.
Be yourself. Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid, guys.
Don't be afraid. Be yourself.
Okay,
Pitch
Brazil?
perfect.
Pitch perfect. Be pitch perfect.
Be pitch perfect.
I could thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.